GTA ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਤੇ PTN24 ਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਡੀਅਰ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਖਾਸ ਗੈਸਟ, ਮੇਰੀ ਟੀਚਰ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਡੈਬੀ ਪੈਪਾਡੈਕਿਸ ਐਂਡ ਡੈਬੀ ਰਜਿਸਟਰਡ ਸਾਈਕੋਥੈਰੇਪਿਸਟ ਨੇ, ਕਲੀਨਿਕਲ ਹਿਪਨੋਥੈਰੇਪਿਸਟ ਨੇ, ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਸਰਟੀਫਾਈਡ ਇੰਸਟਰਕਟਰ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਹਿਪਨੋਥੈਰੇਪੀ ਦੇ, ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਕੋਚ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਿਪਨੋਸਿਸ ਐਂਡ ਪੇਨ ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਇੰਸਟਰਕਟਰ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਾਸਟ ਲਾਈਫ ਬਿਟਵੀਨ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟੀਸ਼ਨਰ ਨੇ, NLP ਐਂਡ ਟਾਈਮਲਾਈਨ ਥੈਰੇਪੀ ਦੇ ਟ੍ਰੇਨਰ ਨੇ, ਐਜੂਕੇਟਰ ਨੇ, ਸਪੀਕਰ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਬੁੱਕ ਵੀ ਲਿਖੀ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਕੋਡ ਤੇ ਫਾਊਂਡਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਹਿਪਨੋ ਹੀਲਿੰਗ ਇੰਸਟੀਟਿਊਟ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਕੀਲ ਸਟਰੀਟ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ 'ਚ ਤੇ 1995 ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਹਿਪਨੋਥੈਰੇਪੀ ਤੇ ਸਾਈਕੋਥੈਰੇਪੀ ਨੂੰ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੀਚਰ ਓਪਰਾਜ਼ ਮੈਗਜ਼ੀਨ ਓਜ਼ ਬੁੱਕ ਆਫ ਹੈਪੀਨੈਸ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੀਚਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਆਰਟੀਕਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ CNN ਤੇ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ she is recipient of International Medical and Dental Hypnotherapy, Life Diplomate in Hypnotherapy Award and National Guild of Hypnotists Charles Tibbets Award ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਿਪਨੋਸਿਸ ਤੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਇਸ ਕੰਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਮੋਸ਼ਨਲ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਡੀਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਡਰੱਗਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ pain management ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਾਫੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਡੀਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। So Debbie, a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Sukhpreet, for inviting me here. I'm very excited to be here today to share my experiences about hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and all the work that we do.
Yes, and I've been so lucky because I got a chance to learn actually from Debbie directly, and she is an amazing teacher. And she is constantly inspiring all her students and her work is so wonderful, it just seems magical jadon I come kar dene. So I'm so glad and so happy that we are here on this platform today talking about hypnosis.
Thank you, and I'm very honored that you invited me, and I just can't say enough for how much you have learned and how well you do the work and how you can help others yourself. And I trust in every level that you are improving all the way. Of course, we all improve in all our lives, but you're ready to work with a lot of people to help your community, to help people, to help everybody that needs help.
Thank you so much, Debbie. So I know I did your introduction a lot in Punjabi, so now I like you to take this opportunity and introduce yourself as well.
Well, thank you for all the viewers, and thank you for having me here. But basically, I'm Debbie, and I'm a I'm a registered psychotherapist and hypnotherapist, and I do many other things. I have received a lot of awards. I've been in Oprah magazines. I've been in every television in Canada, every newspaper in Canada, in the States, in England, in China, in many other places, in Greece. And I'm very honored to be doing this work because my goal in life is to help people, to really help people. And this type of work is the very important work, and it can enter the subconscious and help people that sometimes other professions cannot help.
Wow. Yes, and of course I can vouch for it because I had some personal experience and I can definitely say it from that perspective. So Debbie, a lot of people, when we talk about hypnosis, they get confused, and also there's a lot of myths around hypnosis that, what is it, are they going to control my mind, what's going to happen? So, because of course a lot of people have fears around being controlled by someone, right? And so tell us a little bit more about that, from your experience and knowledge in this industry. What kind of questions did you have from your clients, and how do you overcome that? And what exactly is hypnosis?
Well, hypnosis, I've been doing this for close to 30 years. I think another year or so it's going to be 30 years. So I've been seeing clients all day long. And this myth that hypnosis is going to make you tell all your secrets, make you control your mind, this is just a myth from media and other places. Hypnosis is a natural state that we're entering ourselves just before you fall asleep, before you dream. After you dream, we go into that state, and that's the state of hypnotic state. And we can create that by will. We have ways to do that. And let me talk about the conscious and subconscious. The reason I love hypnosis so much is because it's a vehicle, is a pathway to take us to enter at the subconscious level where all healing happens. Let's think of, you have 3 plates. One big plate, in the middle 2 smaller plates. The outside plate is the conscious mind. Mm-hmm. The conscious mind is filled with logic, analysis, thinking, and if I had to give one word for that, will be thinking.
Okay.
The subconscious mind is, the one word I need to give for that is emotions and feelings.
Okay.
So, all the beliefs, the emotions, the anger, the hurt, the pain, the frustrations, the fears, all are in the subconscious level as emotions. The story comes from the conscious, but the emotions are stored in the subconscious level. And then we have the unconscious, which is basically, it's called it's basically your autonomic bodily function, we call it, which is basically right now you might sit in there and you digesting your dinner, or your blood circulates while we're talking here, your eyelids are blinking. All those things, your blood pressure is up or down. It's all those things, we don't control them. However, if we enter the subconscious level, and if there is some emotions, negative emotions strong, the unconscious will pick up that vibe, and it's going to make the blood sugar go up, or the blood pressure is going to go up. Think of someday we're driving, and there is you see a policeman, and the fear is, I'm going to get a ticket, or maybe I was going too fast. What happens to your body? Your body becomes, starts shaking, it becomes tense. Mm-hmm. Well, what happened to your blood pressure at that time? Mm. Without you even knowing, the blood pressure goes up.
Yes.
But if we had a different belief about policemen, if I knew I had a brother policeman, I see my brother, I wouldn't be, because the fear is not going to be there. So the thinking, the story is the policeman. The emotion I get by seeing, depends how I associate to this person. It's at the subconscious level, and the unconscious produces the anxieties, the sickness, the blood pressure, the health, all that. So it's a very interesting thing, but very simple when you're working with people. It's very simple to enter this levels and to work with people. And why do we need hypnosis? Because hypnosis is the vehicle, the way to take us, to allow us to enter that subconscious level. Mm-hmm. It's nothing more than that. If you go somewhere and they hypnotize you and do nothing else, and then you go home, you might feel relaxed if they use certain types of hypnosis that require relaxation. And we have some ways of hypnotizing people without relaxation. Then you come out of bed and you feel okay, but nothing has changed. Mm-hmm. Hypnosis is only a tool to allow us to enter that level, and then we have to use different techniques, like you learned so many techniques in your classroom. How do we change things from the subconscious level?
That's right.
So, what other question you had? I don't know if I...
Yes, and I'm glad that, you gave that example of when you're driving a car, and let's say you are, a policeman is there. And actually I had a similar example, and absolutely similar feelings I felt. Oh my God, because I could literally see him, that I was speeding, and as he followed me, I was like, okay, I could actually feel those emotions and that sweat in my hands.
Yes.
So
without even knowing.
Yes, and that's so relatable, because within 30 seconds, that change in the physiology, yes, and the sweating and everything happened. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And I think also you shared in this, how the mind works, and I guess we got a little bit idea about the conscious, subconscious, and the unconscious mind. And so, one of the next question comes is, and a lot of people are concerned, is everyone hypnotizable, or?
Well, most of us are hypnotizable. Some people can go to a lower level. Some people that don't allow themselves to go to, excuse me, to deep levels. But the person who cannot be hypnotized, we don't hypnotize people who have a schizophrenia or some other issues. But if the people who are very afraid of all this, it's more likely they will be hypnotized in a lesser degree.
Okay.
But so if you have a fear and you're trying to be in control, nothing's going to happen. So you are in control. However, if you let go of the fear and allow yourself to enter these levels, and it's very simple to do that, all of a sudden you can be hypnotized, and if you allow yourself to go to further levels, it depends on how much fear you have. Somebody said, we have a good clients, bad clients. No, we don't have a good or bad. We have a fearful or not fearful.
Yes.
And the less fearful you are, the more we have access to enter those levels and to chance. Even when we are at those levels, you still have a choice. You don't have to listen everything that I say. You still, but even a lot of times when I hypnotize, I will say, and I taught my students too, I will say, you only accept the information you desire, and anything you don't want, desire, or approve of, just let it go, and it will be gone. So, when you hypnotize, you can go to those levels if you are fearless. If you are a little bit fearful, maybe you can go to middle levels. But after a few sessions, after a session or two, most people, 99% of people, they can be hypnotized there. But there's a certain amount of people that we have a medical problem, they cannot control themselves. Those people, we don't hypnotize them. But even those people, when they go to sleep themselves, just before they dream or after they dream, that's a hypnotic state. But usually they will not accept it by somebody else, and we don't. I mean, these people are need to be taken care of, psychiatrists and doctors and all that, and they can be dealt with differently.
Yes. So I guess, and that in that case, you could probably also work with certain clients who are working with a psychotherapist.
Yes.
as well. They really, it's fine if they go with the regular, say, medication, and
yes,
on the side they could also
yes,
do this work, right?
Well, I have a lot of people are sent by doctors to me, and by, for example, if people have fears. Fears, not only driving, not only fears going to the dentist, but there are many types of fears. Fears they cannot go to the public. Fears they cannot speak in front of people. Fears they cannot get out of their house. So there are fears that debilitate in people, their lives. I have them, and now thank God we have Zoom, and we can work with Zoom, and it works fantastic. I do a lot of work Zoom. I work in the whole internationally. So when we deal with people, we deal with whatever emotional issues they have easily. But I do have people from psychiatrists and psychologists and doctors and all that.
Okay, that's great. And it's interesting you talk about fear, because I remember when I started your classes, I was personally dealing with such a fear of getting on the highways, and especially the freeways. And after doing those sessions, that really helped me. And I know last week I was driving on the highway, and I was like, I'm feeling so free, with this driving, I do not feel that fear at all. And that was a really good feeling to have. So I think it really helped me to bring that positive change. And think about it, something as little as that. Not everyone is facing it, but that's something, I guess, that I was dealing with. And thank you for helping me through that.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing this. And I mean, I have over the 30 years, or 28 or some years, I probably helped, I don't know how many thousands of people with fears and I mean, people become free after you don't have the fear to speak in front of them, or to go to drive, or to go out and speak to people. Right now I'm working with somebody who's afraid to speak to people. And we started from the beginning. He's afraid to speak to anybody. And then I had him in the beginning go into the coffee shop, and he had to go midnight because midnight there weren't that many people, and then he went further, and now he's going all over. He just goes everywhere, speaks to everybody. Still not all the way to, like he said to me, I don't want to blab around. I can talk to anybody now, and it's so fantastic to have people overcoming this fears. And when we have children, they hate school and they don't like school. We make them like school, and then change them their fears about school, their fears about other kids making fun of them. So we clear all that, and it's incredible how this type of work can help you in every level.
Thank you. And you know what, actually, interestingly, I was also talking to one of the fellow students, and she was actually dealing with fear or phobia with dogs. And I was actually sharing with her, and she's like, Sukhpreet, I cannot imagine that, within 2 sessions, my fear of dogs is gone. And now I'm comfortable around them. And I can easily be around them. I can go in the park and I have no issues at all.
I'm sure. And how many people's fears you clear up when you were in the classroom? Yes. Other people, when the students have to do their homework with each other, everybody releases fears from each other. Huh? You help some people.
Absolutely. Yeah, those homeworks really helped.
Really helped. That's right.
Yes, they did. They did. Okay, so Debbie, coming to our next question. Nowadays stress is such an common word in every household. So many people are dealing with stress. So share with us, how can hypnotherapy help with stress?
Thank you. Stress is a very major thing that basically is everybody feels stressed about different situations. When you're looking up stress, you have to ask yourself, what am I stressful about? In what situations am I stressful about? Am I stressful 24 hours a day? No, I'm stressful if I go out, if I go to work, if I speak to people, if I do something. So you identify where your stress is. And once you identify where your stress is, then you ask yourself, what kind of feeling that's exactly what I do with people. What kind of feeling are you experience if you're about to do this? To talk to people, or to go somewhere, or do whatever. And the feeling is at the subconscious level, as we mentioned already. And then we take those emotions, can be anger, can be fear, can be hurt, the feeling, whatever the feeling is, we release it, let it go, and all of a sudden the stress is not even existing anymore.
Wow. So this is so awesome, such an awesome work. So ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਡੱਬੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਬਟ ਇਟ ਇਜ਼ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਓਬਜ਼ਰਵ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਵੇਅਰ ਹੋ ਸਕੀਏ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਦੋਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਇਹ 24 ਘੰਟੇ ਹੈ, 12 ਘੰਟੇ ਹੈ, 6 ਘੰਟੇ ਹੈ, ਕਿਹੜੇ ਇਨਸੀਡੈਂਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ। ਸੋ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਵੇਅਰ ਹੋਵਾਂਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ डिफाइन कर सकते हैं कि जो स्ट्रैस होंदा है उदों ये होंदा है, इस तरह के मेरे विचार होंदे हैं, इस तरह की मेरी फीलिंग्स, मेरी इमोशनस होंदी हैं, एंड फिर उहदे उत्ते काम करना ते उन्हां इमोशनस नूं रिलीज़ करना जिहड़ा हैगा इट्स ईजी, इट इज़ वर्केबल। एंड बहुत सारे लोग जिहड़े हैगे थ्रू हिपनोसिस एंड हिपनोथैरेपी इन्हां चीज़ां दा जिहड़ा हैगा बेनिफिट लै सकदे ने। एंड usually I think this process is much quicker compared to
some of them, but also stress can be in many areas of your life. So you have to also look at what the issue is.
Yes.
So if work's stressing you, then you find out what is in the work that stresses me out. And if you cannot take care of that, and if somebody bothers you and if you continue doing that, I mean, you have to change your situation too. You have to take your life.
Sometimes it's, I guess, about making those tough decisions, or
But some people, they feel stressed and they don't know what their stresses are about. I want the listeners to know, when you say I'm stressful, what areas are you stressful? You're not stressful when you're sitting and eating. You're not stressful when you're watching television. You're stressful when you have to do something, when you go somewhere, you have to speak to somebody, you have to be around certain people. So then you have to look at that.
Yes. So I think that's a very important point. So to Debbie's point कि ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ stressful feel ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ it's good to kind of observe कि ਕਿਹੜੀ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ, ਕਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਨੇ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਘਰ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ, ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਿਚੁਏਸ਼ਨਸ ਤੇ। ਸੋ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜੀ ਕਲੈਰਿਟੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ there could be maybe just one reason for being stressful and sometimes there could be multiple reasons. So ਜਿੰਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਹੋਵਾਂਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਉਸ ਬਿਹੇਵੀਅਰ ਨੂੰ observe ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਇਮੋਸ਼ਨਸ ਨਾਲ ਈਜ਼ੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। Thank you so much, Debbie. So, I know that you do both psychotherapy as well as hypnotherapy, and I know like psychotherapy is probably a more known or maybe considered more acceptable, or maybe you're a better person to tell me like what is your experience with both sciences.
People respond sometimes better in psychotherapy and some people respond better in hypnotherapy. With the psychotherapy you analyze more the situation, you figure it out, takes more time, and some people have to have that understanding. They're not going to go and just clear the fear. They want what makes them fear, what's behind it, what's going. So it's more analysis. They have a better understanding, and while you're understanding that, then you have more issues coming up, and then you develop it. And it takes a longer time to release all that. But it's very helpful, wonderful work to do psychotherapy. I'm a psychotherapist and I'm very proud of that. But hypnotherapy is quicker, it's faster thing. You take specific things and change them around. And some people respond better in psychotherapy and some people respond better in hypnotherapy. So it's a different thing. You may want to try both of them. But one is a little longer than the other, but it's basically, I personally combine the things together. And I do the psychotherapeutic work in a hypnotic state, and I make it a little faster. So but it is. There's some people who will not respond well to hypnotherapy. They wanted to have the understanding. If you have an issue and you have a stress about something, and I go and release that stress or anger or something, and you didn't understand what happened, you might want to understand it. Well, with hypnotherapy, we don't spend too much time on understanding. We go and to the release.
Yes, I agree with you because of course some people they like to work more at the conscious level. I would say they want to have a clear understanding of what's going on. Explain me a little bit more, and to that effect कि दोवें ही therapies psychotherapy ਤੇ hypnotherapy अपनी अपनी जगह ते ठीक ने, पर ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੇਗਾ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਬੈਟਰ ਲੱਗ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। I think ਉਹ ਹਰ personality different ਹੈ, ਹਰ person different ਹੈ। I guess ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬੈਟਰ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਲੱਗ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਾਈਕੋਥੈਰੇਪੀ ਬੈਟਰ ਲੱਗ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹਿਪਨੋਥੈਰੇਪੀ ਬੈਟਰ ਲੱਗ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਬਟ ਅਗੇਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਵੀ ਕੈਨ ਆਲਸੋ ਕਮ ਬੈਕ ਫਰਮ ਹਿਪਨੋਥੈਰੇਪੀ ਟੂ ਸਾਈਕੋਥੈਰੇਪੀ।
We can do, some people do both. Some people do both. Some people, one of the famous people, I forgot the name right now, he says, if you want to have a doctor, you have to have a chiropractor, you have to have an osteopath, you need to have a hypnotherapist too.
Yes.
So this is part of the team. It's not better than the other, it's just different.
Yes. That's
if I have a back problem, I might go to acupuncture or to chiropractor.
100%.
And so if I have a fear, I'm going to go to the hypnotherapist.
Yes.
And if I have anxiety, I might go to the doctor to get medication. But also we can work with that with a hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, depends what we need.
Yes, I guess so to that point we can work at a physical level through the medications, and we can also work at a conscious level through psychotherapy, and we could also work at a subconscious or unconscious level through the hypnotherapy. So I guess depending on ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ, ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਜਾਂ ਜੋ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਗੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।
Well, there are people who can use the help of all these professions, and I don't know, hypnotherapy is not accepted as much as the other ones right now, but then I believe chiropractor wasn't accepted a few years ago, and then finally was accepted. I've been doing this for almost 30 years, and it's there are plenty of people looking for our work, and they love the benefits they get and how they get faster healing, and some of them even in my work takes long time. Depends on the person, how open they are, and what is the issue is. But we know with hypnotherapy we can clear up issues. Sometimes cannot clear them with other ways. Mm-hmm. And also the other thing is, some people, when they have a physical problem, yes, we have to go to the doctor to get medication. We can go to other people, to chiropractor and all that. But if there is an emotional component to that physical problem, we as hypnotherapists, we can help clear that emotional issue behind it. Mm-hmm. And then the physical, it will maybe take care of itself.
Yes.
We're not here to tell you that we're going to clear everything, but at the same time, if you clear the emotional thing, yes, all of a sudden,
I guess you release a lot of energy or the behavior that was associated with that.
Well, yeah, that's right. Well, there is a Dr. Sarno, I believe. He wrote a book, Heal Your Back Pain, I think it is. And in there he says that, I don't know if he says it in the book, but I have seen him talking in a talk show, and he says he was doing surgery. He's a medical surgeon. He was doing surgeries in the back pain of people, and he had done more than 1,200, I believe. And then he discovered that most people who have these back pains, they have issues with their family members.
Yes.
And so he started working with them with a different, he doesn't talk about hypnosis, but he starts sending them to therapy. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, when they did the therapeutic work, most of them didn't have a back pain anymore.
Wow. Actually, that's interesting, because I'm also very fond of Louise Hay.
Yes.
And she has actually written one book which is more about, the emotional side of the physical pains that we feel in the body. And she talks the same thing, that usually whenever you have issues with your back, it could be to deal with the emotional issues, could be around fear or relations, yep, or could be financial fears.
Yes, but financial too.
Yes, yeah. So it was very interesting, and I've always loved her work, and I love reading her books and the stuff she's written.
But if anybody has a back problem, please go and buy that, yes, book. I don't know, he doesn't know me, I don't know him, but the book, I think, is called, from Dr. Sarno, it's called Healing Your Back Pain, I think, Healing Your Back Pain. It's incredible. Everybody, when they start reading and they start realizing that, oh, maybe my pain is some emotional.
Yes, yes. No, that's great. Thank you for sharing, because बहुत बारी ऐसी जब भी कोई साड़ी body च problem होंदी है, ऐसी सीधा we just run more to medication right away. So this is just another way of looking at the pain or at the discomfort in the body, or the dis-ease in the body, mm-hmm, right? Just to see, maybe because a lot of times if we can get help with that, taking care of that emotion, probably it could help with relieving the physical symptoms as, mm-hmm, well, right?
And sometimes if you have some physical problem, just check yourself and see, the last half an hour, the last 20 minutes, what was I thinking? I'm not talking to a pain that is 24 hours a day. I'm talking to pain that you have it sometimes you don't have it. So just check, what was going through my mind the last half an hour? What was I thinking? How positive or negative was I?
Yes, yes, of course. Our thoughts have a lot to
yeah. Our thoughts are affecting our emotions, and our emotions affecting every thought you have has a picture, and that picture is it will be heavy or lighter, has frequency and vibration. If that vibration and frequency is negative, if the thought is negative, it becomes very heavy and you singing down. But if the thought is positive and the picture is positive, the frequency, the vibration is positive, you lift it up. And so the body is affected automatically the same way like we were talking about the policeman.
That's true. That's true. Yes. All right, Debbie. So, I know that you did some paperwork on insomnia.
Yes, insomnia is very interesting.
I know. I mean, this just came to my mind because I remember during the class you also shared with a case study of insomnia. So, I guess I know we are a little bit running short on time, but I just like to touch a little bit on that because insomnia is one of the big issues as well. Getting a good sleep is so important to everyone, right?
Last week I was teaching in Orlando, Florida, in the International Medical and Dental Hypnosis Association. I was teaching the class I was giving on insomnia. And basically what happened is I had 20 some years ago, I had a client who came to me and she said to me, in the middle of the night, I must be eating because the food is not in the chicken is gone out of the fridge, the table's mess, and nobody else lives in the house, and I don't remember anything. So then I thought, how can I help this lady? And I remember the subconscious is never sleeping. So I thought, isn't it interesting? So I helped her and when I hypnotized her, I asked her what was the situation, what was happening, and she said, at 3 a.m, I'm going downstairs, I'm eating and all that. So then I thought, this is a wonderful way for people who cannot sleep. So I developed this technique and I'm teaching it all over the world. You can find it in my website. Actually, if you go, there is the journal, the clinical journal of, I think it's called Australian Journal of Hypnosis, has a whole article there. You can go and read it. And if somebody wants to experience hypnosis and you don't know what it is and all that, I have a CD. Well, it's downloadable, and you can email me at debbie@hypno-healing.com, and I will send you the CD for free through the email, and then download it and listen to it and just experience how hypnosis feels. The other thing I would like to, I know his time is up, but I would like to mention that we're teaching classes in hypnosis, Reiki and all that, but hypnosis is a wonderful tool to learn, and some people are learning to become hypnotists, some people learn to incorporate it with their work, some people learn to better their lives. It's incredible. So you can go to my website, www.hypno-healing.com, and see about our classes. And the other thing is the book.
Yes. So yes, actually Debbie is also author of this beautiful book. It's called The Relationship Code. And it's an amazing book, and it really helps to identify our relations with ourselves and from our childhood, and all the stuff that we dealt with. And I know, Debbie, you have so much to share, and I know that I can never be satisfied enough with this interview because I'd like to share more and more knowledge and information, with our viewers. However, before the end of the show, I'd like to share Debbie's address, the institute. So Debbie is founder of Hypno Healing Institute. She's also a teacher, and she teaches hypnosis, Reiki, and certain other courses as well. And the address is 355 Keele Street. It's in Toronto, Ontario, and her phone number is 416-760-8996. And if you like to book an appointment with Debbie, or maybe just give her a call, maybe I think usually
I'll send
there's a
them
15.
to you. Sukhpreet, she's a wonderful therapist. Please go to her. Please go to her. Maybe you need to give your phone number. And I'll support you in any way. Believe me, she's great.
Thank you so much, Debbie. And Debbie's website is Hypno, HYPNO-healing, HEALING.com. And Debbie will be taking a new class for hypnosis
in August.
In August. So if this is something of interest to you or something you like to explore more, feel free to reach out to her.
Thank you.
And Debbie, thank you so much for your time
today.
Thank
you so much. I honor you. I honor your soul. But one thing we didn't talk, and I know no time, the childhood issues, that's what we're dealing with it, and we didn't say anything, but
yes,
maybe another time.
And we are definitely going to get some more time with you so we can bring more stuff about this out, things that are happening inside, that often
How
no one
we
teaches
affect
us, and people don't know. I mean, there's not so much knowledge and awareness about those things, and we are definitely going to come out with more information on those things. And to our viewers, thank you so much for taking the time and watching this show, Dear Zindagi, and thank you so much, and thank you, Debbie. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, and thank you to the viewers. Thank you to the viewers.
And hope you find all the information and knowledge we shared here very valuable, and you can probably use it to bring some positive changes in your life.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let's